That's right, Jen. No matter what their MOS, all Army units must be proficient in basic combat infantry skills and prepare their soldiers for the type of fight that takes place in Iraq today. And that includes the 3rd Heavy Brigade Combat Team.
Go. We don't know what we're going into. And, you know, as it's always stated, we're always trying to fight our last engagement, our last war.
The 2nd Armored 69th Infantry Regiment has stepped outside of their heavily armored vehicles and into the dismounted urban environment.
Hey, we got tanks, we got Bradleys, we're a heavy brigade. When the soldiers get over to Iraq, majority of them that go on these patrols are dismounts. So they're actually doing infantry stuff.
Infantry stuff like planning, reconnaissance, patrols, and urban assault live fire.
The overall end state here is that they walk away understanding how to do this in a light infantry role, as far as incorporating machine gun teams and support by fire elements, and then having the enter and clear building and staffs and local support and all the things that a light infantry platoon would do.
The 3rd Brigade has a lot of young soldiers who have not seen combat, so it's imperative to provide them with realistic training so they can be successful downrange.
What we're doing now is not only building the whole platoon, the company, the battalion to be a more of a lethal fight machine, but also instilling in that young individual soldier that he too has the capability to fight with confidence. And that's the biggest thing that we're trying to instill right now.
Extremely important to get new guys that haven't been out there, get them experience to guide and leading toward the things that they're going to deal with in Iraq. And for our veterans, you got to stay proficient on your combat skills and brush up on the things that we do in combat.
In order to provide realistic training and install confidence, these soldiers will shoot live rounds during their urban assaults.
What we're doing here is, first of all, making sure you can hit what you're shooting at. Number 2, it's just carrying live ammo and knowing that anytime I may have to squeeze the trigger. So will I have the confidence to be able to squeeze the trigger at any moment's notice?
Live fire is so important because that's the closest you can get to the realism of combat without people shooting back at you. So the most important understanding right there is to maneuver and control the direct fires, and they're going to do that at the squad and platoon level, and also down at the soldier level. He's got to understand, how to accurately engage targets and clear a sector of fire before he engages.
This training also teaches these young soldiers the balance and responsibility they must have as U.S. soldiers and how the rules of engagement come into play.
We're very strict on the rules of engagement, as it is strict on us. And that soldier, he places that selector switch on fire and he squeezes that round, it doesn't come back. So whatever goes down that barrel, and whatever it hits, it's done. So I have to make a smart decision. When do I fire? And that's what we're trying to instill now. You're not just going to shoot at anybody just because they're there close to something that happened.
These soldiers will conduct this training day and night, and all their hard work is preparing them to be successful in Iraq and return home safely.
The more training and the more sweat we put into this, the less bloodshed we'll see when we're in a heated battle or in combat. That's where it really counts, is the training that we're doing now.
269 Armor has successfully completed their urban assault live fires and will now move on to the larger full-scale exercises, which will include the entire 3rd Brigade.